Hey everybody, it's Heiden, and I'm back with an update to the Goodbye versus Heiden campaign. And it may not be an update you want to hear, but I have to tell you what's going on. This campaign is over. At least for me. Let me explain. So, I've come to the difficult decision that I need to let this one go. We're only 19 turns into this, so this is probably as good of a time as any for me to do this. And here's some of the explanation I've got for you. One, I just got word that Macho's back home, and I'm really excited to get that campaign going. And I want to put as much effort into moving that one along as I can because we're already 180 some odd turns into that, and we have huge battles pending. Obviously, this is not that campaign, but there's a lot of action. This is where the battle's going to be in that campaign, and it's really heating up. And now that he's back, I want to really jam out turns for that campaign because I've got so much time invested into that. So that's the first thing. Secondly, I recently got picked up, and I really can't say much because I'm under NDA, but I was recently picked up to be part of the beta team for another game that's going to be coming out in the near future. And it's a turn-based strategy game, and all I can say about it is I feel like it's the next generation of turn-based strategy games as far as the engine goes. And I did not expect to be part of this. They contacted me, and given my experience with War in the Pacific and my platform here on YouTube where I can make videos and do stuff like that, tutorial videos, they thought that I would be a good fit for the team. And I'm pretty honored to be part of that, and I see a lot of potential in that. And I think it would be a positive thing for the community at large, the strategy gaming community, if I take my abilities and platform and move over and help that team develop their game for you guys. But that's going to come at a cost. I have a finite amount of time, right? I have so much time in a day. I work every day. I do Air Force stuff. I've got kids. They've got sports. I've got the flight sim stuff I like to do. That's my hobby. Besides this, the Macho campaign, like I said, the beta stuff. Something's got to give, right? I only have X amount of time and Y amount of need, or what is it? X amount of time and Y amount of requirements. Whatever. I don't have time for all of that stuff. And this is the thing that I've started that has the least amount of time invested into it that I think I can let go to focus on other priorities that I have. But here's a good thing. I found an awesome replacement for me. There's a guy on my Discord server who I've been a fan of for a long time. I think he's a really good player and very similar, commensurate to my skill level. His name is, I just call him ML. I don't know how to pronounce the name he uses on there, Molan Labe or something. But anyway, I'm a big fan of this guy. Every campaign that I've ever seen him play, which he does the AARs on my Discord server, he always does well, and he's very articulate, very intelligent, understands the game mechanics very well. So I feel like he's a good match for Goodbye, and I've already talked to Goodbye, and he has agreed to allow me to hand this campaign over to my friend ML. We'll call him ML. And he's going to take over for me. So he does occasionally do YouTube videos, and he definitely has a very active channel on my Discord server, and he does very nice written after action reports, way better than anything I could ever do. So even though I'm not going to be continuing to play this campaign will continue with him. And if you'd like to follow it, I would love to invite you to come over to my Discord server. And I think, yeah, here you go. He's got a channel right here, and you guys can check it out. So definitely give that a look over. But let me show you what I'm leaving him as I hand this over. So we've got the Illusions campaign going on. We're taking everything basically from Cold Bay back, which buys us a nice buffer. ADAC is building up really nice. In China, I've got a really nice depth stack working here, and we're pushing on Sion from two fronts. So this whole road up here should be easy to take, and we're also advancing towards Ankang here. Now, the Chinese have a full-on offensive operation aimed at Nanchang going on right here. And it looks like they're moving on Hong Kong here. And these guys, I don't know what they're going to do. So this is a big thing. But I've already had a 2-hour debrief with ML on this. And I've given him the full scoop on all of this. So he understands what this is. So he can take steps to counter this. So if you've seen the last video that I made, you know that this is a huge threat down here. But with these threats come opportunities. And I think that ML can capitalize on that because Goodbye's basically abandoned Changsha to engage this attack. So this is a good opportunity for him to maybe move on Changte and Changsha while these guys are out in the field doing whatever they're doing. Because once these Chinese troops get into this clear terrain over here, they're done for. Like the bombers are just going to eat them for lunch. So that's an opportunity. I left him with a good position in Burma. It's already, what, the 26th of December, and we're about to move on Pegu and Rangoon. So he's all set up for success there. I've left him with the clear road all the way down to Johor Bahru and into Singapore. So I estimate on or around the first of the year, January 1st or 2nd, he'll be in Singapore or moving into Singapore with basically 2,600 AV troops. So I've set him up with plenty of success here to take care of this. So Singapore set up. He's got Borneo. I got him a pretty decent position out here in the Dutch East Indies. Obviously, I fully explained to him the whole Timor ambush from, the previous turn. So he understands what that is, what happened, where they came from, what I think where they came from. And he knows what he's got to work with here. I've also set this up for him. So I have this ship that's carrying a not insignificant part of the 65th Brigade, right? There's a lot of devices in this. The ship that they're on is about to sink. Like the next turn, it will die. But I've got this escort task force moving in with ships that can carry troops to merge with this. So when this ship goes down, all these other ships take on the survivors. So that will help rescue these devices and keep that 65th Brigade alive. So I've set him up for that. He's tracking on that. Oop. All right. Australia. I've given him the disposition here. I have encouraged him strongly to start moving down on Brisbane now. He's got 100, 200, 300. Oh, he's got about 1,500 AV in China, no, Australia right now, which should be more than enough to take Brisbane early on. So he's doing that. I got him set up for that. I've got fighters in place. I've got everything he needs over here to take Brisbane. Okay. I got him set up with GIGABYTE, just north of New Caledonia, with an invasion task force landing at Kumak this upcoming turn. So he's got that. That'll be good. He can knock this out. He's got all of this Pago stuff, as well as landings planned for Mangia and everything else. So he's looking good out here in South Pacific. He's got Canton, a nice position on Canton. And we got some naval search set up for him pretty good all the way to Wake Island. And you can see the search arc here. Now, obviously there's a hole here. So we got ADAC and we got Wake. And there's a gap, obviously, right about here that's open. So what I've done is I put picket ships in this gap just to cover that. And they're spaced 4 hexes apart, which means if the Allies are running their search planes, they have a minimum range of 4. There's no way that the search planes are not going to trip on one of these. So these should act as a pretty decent tripwire for him if the Allies try to sneak in this way, which I can't imagine they would do right now. Famous last words, right? Okay, additionally, I've set him up for success with a lot of training squadrons. I've got a lot of these full plane fighter squadrons set up for excellent training opportunities for him. I've got a lot of zeros in the pool, a lot of zeros out in the field with the clods basically removed, and I have a very robust Oscar replacement plan in progress for him so he can get rid of all these Nates and switch them over to Oscars. You can see here he's already got 2 Oscar squadrons in China that I built up for him. Plus, I think an additional 3rd coming in soon. So I've got him some pretty decent Air Force power here in China. And he's going to inherit all of that. Here's the one thing, a takeaway here for me for this campaign that I don't particularly love, and I'll have to reconsider this in the future, is abandoning the Philippines was probably not a great choice. I've seen it done successfully by Desert Wolf. If you guys are familiar with him, I've covered his campaigns in the past. A good friend of mine and one of my mentors. Absolutely. And quite honestly, the best player I've ever seen in this game. He can do this, okay? He can get the Philippines and make this work for him. I don't know that I can. The sub forces here are a problem. The constant spotting from PBYs out of here is a problem. The ability for him to launch naval strikes from Manila into the South China Sea is a problem. Now, it hasn't really been a problem up to this point. We had a near miss near Cam Bay earlier in the campaign where I was about to give it up. But that turned into be nothing. So this hasn't been a thing yet, but it could. So going forward, I would have to reevaluate if I want to play a strat like this again. I would say this is probably one of my single biggest regrets of the campaign, is not putting any kind of pressure on the Philippines at all. I'm not saying we need to full on slam dunk the place, but I mean, at least maybe put a little pressure on it so it can't be operating like without being harassed, I guess is what I would say. I don't know that I would do that again. Or if I did, I would put better processes in place to handle it better than this. Anyway, I'm sure I've made other mistakes, right? Obviously, down here at Timor was a mistake. And a couple of little things I've done, I could have done better. And I learned from these things. But all in all, I like the industry setup that I came up with. I like my South Pacific pivot. I think that was fun. And I think that ML will take this and run with it and do a great job. So please support him. Come over to my Discord if you're not there yet. Come follow his campaign. He will put out occasional YouTube videos, but he excels at written AARs. So come on over, join his channel, keep up with the campaign. One other benefit to him, as opposed to me, is he can move some turns. Like, he can do at least a turn a day, sometimes 2 or 3. So the turn rate production between him and Goodbye will go through the roof. I'm slow, right? I gotta make videos. I gotta take care of my kids. I gotta beta test this new game. I gotta fly. I gotta play Macho. I can't make turns every day. Sometimes ML can. So this campaign's gonna kick into high gear, and I think he's got a similar skill set to mine, if not even a little bit better in some ways. And he's gonna do a great job. So I know this is probably not what you guys want to hear, and I apologize for that. But you know, I gotta cut some loose ends somewhere, and this was the thing that made the most sense to cut. But again, we got a full-on developed campaign set up, ready to hand over to another great player. And I look forward to watching him progress and see how he does against Goodbye. And I want to thank you guys for watching these videos up to this point. There's going to be another Macho turn coming out real soon, guys. I just watched it. It was wild. So please stay tuned. You're going to love it. That's all I want to say. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.